Okay, it's pretty loud where I am, and I don't know, guys. At this point, I think noise is part of the ambience. Like, it's a very noisy world we live in, and I could edit the background noise out, but it's like, do I really want to? Like I say, no one's superficial. So today, actually, we have an intro for this. Like the intro is part of the episode, but I don't think it's enough. I think, in fact, the intro is the episode. Right? But it's the intro for the intro. So I'm speaking to the boys at the corner. I'm speaking to my friend Logo Show. Oh, my friend is so pretty. I'm speaking to brothers. Wago the Fix. Wago H&M. Wago Sports Scene. Yeah, you guys are problematic. Total sports scene. Sports shops, Adidas, Nike. Well, it's not a Nike sports shop, but maybe if you go to the Stanley shop. Yeah, speaking to you guys. I'm speaking to the cashier at KFC and McDonald's and Woolworths and Spa and Tesla Garage. Ladies, come on. You know who I'm talking to. This is for you guys. This is for the ladies. Yeah. I'm looking to you guys, and I would like you guys to come forward. Like, stand up and come to the address. So we can judge you. Okay. And this is not only for those men perpetuating these activities, this is also for the men who encourage it, who are amused by this behavior, who don't agree with it, but don't do anything about it at the same fucking time. And look, I get it. You don't want to be put in the crossfire. You want to protect yourself as well. But at the end of the day, as a bystander, you are part of the problem. So you're a bystander. And I'm not here to show any sympathy today. That's all I do on a daily basis. Today, I have decided to relax. Okay. And like I said, the way we talk about things here is not in the way that you expect. It's not in the way that these topics have been introduced out there in the world, because if I do that, you probably already know what I'm already going to say. You probably heard it from somewhere, and still there's no change. So I'm bringing a different nuance into the conversation, and I'm not gonna dilly-dally, I don't know if you're listening. Yes, I use dilly-dally again. This is me. This is one of my quirks. I'm not gonna dilly-dally. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm not gonna anything. Okay. Yeah. I basically want to paint a picture of what it is to live as a young woman, which is what I identify as in this country, but as a female in general in this country. And I'm going to talk to the sisters and mothers of sons and aunties and uncles and fathers and friends and cousins who enable, like, even the micro examples of the situation. Okay, it's not okay. As much as you are part of the victim group, but you're also victimizing yourself and other people in this group of people. So yeah, we cannot accept that. Okay, so let's get into the first part of the video, where I'm going to be basically just introducing a problem, right? And the kind of different examples of what is happening in our country right now. And yeah, enjoy. Wow. I love you. And yours tastes good. Well, today I'm coming to you from the sick ward. Yeah. Or sick bay. Sorry. Yeah. But what we're talking about today is a really important lesson, a really important session. So bear with me and buckle up, because this is about to be a long 4-part, maybe 4-part lesson. Okay, quite a curriculum we have on our hands today. So first of all, mamas or baby son or Ketonya one day, please come to the front. Come to the front. Or stand up for the whole class to see, actually. Because you are the reason why we're here today. Okay. I had trouble thinking about how I was gonna start this, how I was gonna format today's lesson. And at first I was gonna say, dear South African men, but I realized I'm not really pleading. I am reprimanding, I'm screaming, I'm wailing. I didn't have to, but here we are. Okay, so you guys, I don't know why men in this country, in these streets, feel entitled to a charm that they don't even possess, because that kind of entitlement just takes away whatever charm they were capable of in the first place. Emong abuti wa hae maobane country tsa hore o tlo nyala hore when I o tlo nyala hore ha ke mopa a ba hata le ena mofatshe a bone hore ke feel bjang. And thing is, like, in the situation I was in, yes, I know it's disrespectful in any African or South African black culture to step where somebody is mopping, basically. But I had to get out of that situation, and the direction which I was heading into is where he was mopping. And anyway, I tried to step where he wasn't mopping, and I did excuse myself before I did that. So there was an older man next to me by an ATM, and like hello, Khaitedi. Okay, that shocked me. He was even like, why are you so scared? I'm like, no, I'm just shocked at the like choice of words, that the diction that you decide to use, Khaitedi, like in the middle of Pretoria. I did not expect that, and that was kind of like a indicator to me that, like, there's still ubuntu in our community, there's still respect, there's still just genuine what can I say, courtesy. But I was proved wrong in, like, or rather proven right in a matter of like 2 minutes, because then he started talking about, like, no, that's how you address a woman that you respect, a woman that you want to marry, and all of that. And I was like, oh, sir, I am not of age. Okay, this is not back in the olden days where girls used to get married at 16. I am a college student. Like, now that I'm legal, I'm always in fear that, like, I can't use the excuse that I'm too young anymore, but that is the fact of the matter. I am too young for a 40-year-old man to be hitting on me, for a 25-year-old man to be hitting on me. Yes, I'm starting to become a woman, but also, even if I wasn't too young, I don't think any unwanted attention should be forced on a woman just because she needs something. So I have let you come to the front of the class. I've made you stand up because I want to let you know that you are making our lives unbearable on a daily basis. Yeah, I want you to know that you are making our lives unbearable. I mean, I know men have heard, well, men who are conscious enough to listen have heard that a woman's biggest fear in South Africa is walking past a corner as plaza, because you know what, there's just a group of guys waiting there to catcall you. But the catcalling goes far beyond that, and the harassment goes far beyond that, and the dangers of rape and domestic violence go much, much further than that. So I just want you guys to know that you're making our lives unbearable. It's like, if I need something, kamara shop, now I must smile, flirt, or even just to be safe, just not to aggravate the next kimang. Moses kimang. Just to not aggravate the next ABC killer, or because now we even have serial killers in our community. Like, I don't know when was the last time in a South African community we could say we have a serial killer. And I'm talking about in all provinces. Yes, we have lots of cases where girls are being murdered by their boyfriends, by their uncles, by their stepdad, being forcefully raped and being found decapitated. Yes, this is a norm in South Africa. Every other week something like this happens, and we hear the story, and I guess all you can do is wonder if I am next. You don't even wonder anymore. You're just like, you're next. But now we have a serial killer that is targeting young women in one specific area, and that just amplifies our terror, which was already bad enough as it was, even more. And it's like, you can't even be more afraid than you already were, because it's a terrible world for us either way. So, what am I saying? Essentially, I don't know what I'm saying. I just want you, the men who are asked to stand up in this classroom today, to see the pain that women go through every day, because that's the thing. Once it comes home, then it becomes a sore spot, then it becomes a big issue. I've been watching a lot of things nowadays. Wow. I'll be back. So there's a lot of things that have made me think so intensely about this. There's been personal experiences like that actually, like, let's actually debunk what went through my brain when this man said this, when he said he's gonna marry me so that when I'm mopping he can step over where I've mopped as well and see how that makes me feel. And honestly, my only reaction was okay, and I laughed because I was like, wow, like how entitled and how patriarchal, and how basically how much of an insult you have to be to think of saying that in that kind of situation. Like, I get he may have felt disrespected, but I feel like there was so much going into that statement and that whole situation in general. But yeah, that was funny. Like it reminded me of, I don't know, a white man in the 1960s looking for a bride. That's what it reminded me of. Crazy enough. I don't know if you get what I mean. But yeah, food for thought, and also like an indicator of the dangers that we go through every day in society. Another thing I want to talk about is like basically things that are happening every day in the background that are increasing the lack of security for women in South Africa, basically. You know, like I was saying, you have to either toughen up and, you know, make yourself so unapproachable, like so unapproachable, but also be ready to walk so fast for your life, because you never know who you might be angering by being indifferent or ignorant. Or you have to be really approachable so that you can get what you want, and at the end of the day, if something bad does happen to you, then you end up feeling kind of like deserving of it or responsible, or either way, you either feel deserving or responsible, because, you know, people don't just do things for each other in a community for the sake of community, really. You know, an old man isn't gonna look at a girl and give her a lift home, or an older brother, maybe someone who's in their 20s, isn't gonna look at a girl from school, from extra classes, or from wherever, or walking late at night in the streets, and offer her a lift home without anything expected in return, but instead it's going to be the danger to that young woman. A young woman, a middle-aged woman, a young girl, a baby girl, an older woman. No one practices Ubuntu anymore. And even as women, like, women are even afraid to help out younger men because you never know what will happen to you. And then there's also women who are stuck in these abusive and human trafficking rings, or like basically women pimping other younger girls because they are stuck in that system. And instead of changing it or breaking free from it or helping themselves and protecting other people from that situation, they're just bringing them in because they have already been wounded. They've already been wounded, and they don't feel like they could ever heal from that or whatever. I'm saying a lot, but it's because it is a lot, Yeah. Another thing that happens in our country is that, there is a steadily growing economic crisis happening in this country. Unemployment keeps increasing. The cost of living keeps increasing. Poverty keeps increasing. People are educated, but it stands for nothing. Nothing at all. Businesses are closing down instead of more businesses opening up. Exploitation. Oh, well, that is on the rise. And so people become desperate, especially young women, because nobody also wants to depend on a man, because that could lead to a very abusive dilemma. Or women want to be able to cater for themselves, and not that there's anything wrong with depending on a man, or that women should depend on men, but even women who have the opportunity to basically be supported by a man, be it their brother, be it their romantic partner, be it whoever, they would rather work and earn their own money so that they don't end up in an abusive situation. And now this has led to the endangerment of so many young women in this country. You guys know that we're saying in the Russian program? I don't know a lot about it. I'm gonna do my research, but that, imagine how many people are endangered because of that now. I don't know how. I think I'm glad I wasn't interested in working in Russia, because that's literally what made me skip that post. But I can imagine how many other young people in our country jumped at that opportunity and gave away all their information, and now they're in serious danger. They really are. But I guess that's the intro of this series. I'm gonna be inviting some people to talk about this, and I'm going to be doing more research that proves how unbearable it is to live as a woman in South Africa because of this kind of behavior. And yeah, feel free to raise a hand and share your thoughts with the class. Yeah, this is a bittersweet lesson. People are gonna be learning a lot, but also people are gonna be reminded of a lot. So, okay, I'll hold your hand. I'll walk you home if you feel like it's too much. But this is a lesson that needs to be had, for sure. Until next time, my lovelies.